Johnny Peach's Kitchen with Chris and Blair. Today we're making salmon croquette dinner blend.
So hey guys, I say dinner blend because dinner time I put crackers in it. If I'm doing it at breakfast so it'll have a little sweet kick to it, I put frosted flakes. That'll be a different video for you. You can use pink salmon or you can use red salmon. It's up to you. But for me, all of these bones and stuff, I pull all of this out. I don't like any of that. I don't care for any of the here. And I usually use the can. That's a blender, a blooper or a blender. I get all of these little bones out. I mean, you don't have to get every little bitty bone, but those big chunky bones, I get those out. And this gray right here and the white fat, I take all of that out of there too. I don't like any of that in my salmon croquettes. And the only way I got my kids and my grandkids to eat salmon patties is I told them they were
Krabby Patties.
and that trick worked every time. So this looks pretty gruesome, but I take all of that out of there. You see that white right there? I take that out too. That chunky fat, I take that out. I take all of that out of there. And then I put my good meat over to the side. And put the nasty stuff that's left over. I take that and put it over in the can. I use 3 cans minimal because once you get finished cleaning this stuff out, once you finish cleaning 3 of them out, you really only going to have 2 cans. So you see all of this skin back here? I take that out. I do leave the dark meat in. I don't take that out. But this white right here, I take all of that out. And I take that silver skin off. And like I said, I go through it really good to make sure all of those bones is out. Because I don't care for that crunch in my salmon. Some people leave it in. I don't want it. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, it's up to you. If you like it in, hey, help yourself. But for me and Miss Peach's kitchen, we take that out of there. So just to give you an idea of how to go ahead and take all of that out, I'm just giving you a little tutorial on taking that out, just as I do when we clean beans. Everybody don't do that. Everybody doesn't do that. Excuse me, and using correct English, but we do. So and that's the way I was taught, and I like to keep it going for my grandkids, because that's what these tutorials actually were for my kids and my grandkids. You know, when I'm not here to do it for them, they can do it for themselves. So you go in and make sure you get all of this out. So pretty much I gave you a little breakdown of it. I'm not going to stick on this too long, but I showed you pretty much all of the things to discard. And just go through it and break it up a little bit to make sure there's no bones hiding. Just like this one was hiding in there. We take this out. Here, let me put it on the counter. Come next week, we'll have new counters. Our counters and stuff are in. So next week they'll be putting all of the counter and the putting my wall tile on. So I break it up just to make sure that there's none of that in there. And that's pretty much it for this part of it. But I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get the rest of that out of there. And when we get finished with that, then we'll go to the next step. So hey guys, this is after I have removed all of the guts and stuff here, the bones and the fat and the skin. And remember I said after you do 3 cans, it's really like you're only getting 2 cans worth of meat if you clean it properly. So see all of that? That's a whole can worth of ew. So here's a medium or small bell pepper. Here's a medium onion. We have 3 eggs. For these cans, we have about, let's say about 12 to 15 crackers. And then we're going to season the taste. So I usually break this up real good, make it really fine in here so that in every bite you'll have some of everything. And just move this around real good. And I like to season the meat, so I'm going to put a little garlic powder and a little bit of seasoned salt in this on the meat, just on the meat. As I said before, we like garlic powder around here. I use garlic as well, but this doesn't call for actual garlic. I mean, not the way I do it. So do a little seasoning salt. And my dinner blend, I usually use cornmeal and not flour. For the morning blend, I usually use flour mixed with cornmeal. So I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get to that part. I'm not going to put any pepper in right now. I'm going to put it on when I get the other mixture mixed up. Sorry about that. So, as I always do, I beat my eggs before I put it in my food because I don't want some parts not mixed in real good. I like it to be real mixed. And drop these bell peppers over in there. I don't think I needed that many. Drop my onions over in there. I didn't need quite that many of those either. And I'm going to break my crackers up. And if by any chance yours get a little dry when you're mixing it, you don't want it wet. But if it gets too dry, where when you're mixing it, it doesn't seem right to you, it's okay to put a little dab of water, just a little drop, not much. Not water, I'm sorry, not water at all. Definitely not water, milk. So it's okay to mix in a little milk so you can keep your juices flowing. I don't care for the juice that's in the salmon. So what I do is I get rid of all of that juice. I drain it. I don't know if I said that in the beginning, but what I usually do is I clean the can off. Of course, I clean all my cans off. I don't know what factory or what was going on in the factory when they were made. So I rinse off my cans and dry them, and then I go on and open them. And then I just drain all of the water or juice or whatever you want to call it that's in the salmon. I drain all of that off. And then I go ahead and start cleaning it. So now I do my seasoning, and I do it to my liking. You can put as much or as little as you want. I don't measure this. I apologize, but I just don't. I never really, and I don't want to under season trying to measure out for you. So you measure it to your liking, how you like it. And now I'm going to put my pepper in. And that's enough for me, for us. And I'm going to mix it up a little bit. And I think I might go in with that little bit of milk because it's a little bit dry for me. I'm going to put a dab of milk in. Probably about a few tablespoons, you know, maybe 3 tablespoons. And I'll let you see how that turns out. Okay, guys, this is kind of the consistency I'm looking for. You get some of everything in every bite. It's not too dry and it's not wet. So you don't want it wet. You just want it, you know, where you can patty it up. Like so. Patty them up, make them as big as you want them. Now, let me say this. I had some zeta and fish fry. I forgot I even had it. But anyway, you can take and use this instead of cornmeal mixed with flour and seasoning it up. This is already seasoned. Or you can mix up your own seasoning with cornmeal, a little flour, paprika, Cajun seasoning mix, garlic powder, pepper, and seasoning salt, a little bit of seasoning salt. You don't have to use the seasoning salt because most Cajun salts seasoning have salt in it. So basically make them about this big, or you can make them as big as you want them or as small as you want them, but we make them about this size here. Mix it up, patty it up, put it to the side. Make a couple of these before I just to give you an idea, rough estimate of what I'm doing here. You can, like I said, you can make it bigger if you like, but I make them this big, so if they don't want much, they won't waste any of them. So they get as small amount as they want and get a few of them, couple of them, and if they want to make little sandwiches with them or whatever they want to do with them, they can make them, you know, do whatever they want to with them. It's up to you. It's up to them. It's up to you what size you want as well. But pretty much you just take it, put it on both sides. Now you have to make sure your grease is good and hot so it'll start frying it right away as soon as you put it in there. But basically just patty them up and put them to the side. You can do both sides in this seasoning mix or in your seasoning mix, however you do your cornmeal. This one was already pre-bought. That saved me a step. It's going to be good and tasty. We're going to have us a nice good dinner tonight. So, when I get finished pattying these up, you can see the next step. So, I'm back. I'd rather the grease be a little hotter than this, but I'm back, and that made about 10 patties. You don't want to overcrowd your pan, so I'd say put about 5 of them in there, because if the grease is not hot enough, it's going to make your food greasy. It's just going to hold on to the grease. So you make sure that your grease is hot enough. So when you put them in there, and you make sure you give yourself space. You don't want it to be overcrowded. And you cook it until it's golden brown. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how big your patties are, for you to flip them. Don't overcrowd your pan, because if you do, then it's going to take longer, and then you're going to have soggy patties as opposed to crunchy patties. So, it's up to you how big you want them. However, if I were you, I'm not you, but I wouldn't put any more than 5 or 6 in a pan, and make sure that your grease is hot enough that it will go ahead and cook it fast. They came out golden brown. The first set are the first ones that I did. I usually use paper towel and just let them stand up in the in a big bowl or something and let them dry. But I had my cookie rack out for something else, and I just decided to let them sit and air dry on this to get the grease off of it. So these are the first ones. I'll let the boys taste test, and we'll be right back. So this is our finished product. This is how they look on the inside, and I bet you they taste as good as they look. What you call them, Blair?
Krabby Patties.
What you call them, Blair?
Krabby Patties.
This is SpongeBob. I'm about to eat some Krabby Patties.
Okay, so taste them. Tell me how they taste.
That's good.
Taste like they usually taste?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we got thumbs up here, I guess. What you say? You say subscribe, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.